The training facility aboard the UES Meridian hummed with the usual cacophony of alien languages and the mechanical whir of gravity simulators. Commander Blake Rodriguez watched from the observation deck as the latest batch of interspecies military cadets struggled through basic combat protocols. 3 months into the program, and most species had adapted reasonably well to standardized training equipment, except for the humans. Instructor Rodriguez, called Lieutenant Kethvar, his chitinous mandibles clicking with what the translation matrix interpreted as mild confusion. The Terran recruit has destroyed another training weapon. Blake sighed and descended to the main floor. Private Marcus Thompson stood sheepishly beside the remains of what had been a standard-issue plasma staff, now split cleanly into 2 pieces. The weapon's energy core flickered weakly, its containment field destabilized by the structural damage. "What happened this time, Thompson?" Blake asked, though he suspected he already knew the answer. The young soldier straightened. "Sir, you asked for a demonstration of close-quarters combat techniques. I was showing the Altarian cadets how humans adapt improvised weapons in confined spaces." He gestured helplessly at the broken staff. "I applied what I thought was minimal pressure to demonstrate leverage principles." Around them, the mixed group of alien cadets stared with expressions ranging from fascination to horror. The Altarians, resembling elongated mantids with crystalline exoskeletons, chittered among themselves in their native tongue. The bulkier Drachmari, whose dense bone structure made them natural shock troops, seemed impressed despite themselves. Kethvar picked up the 2 halves of the plasma staff, examining the clean break. These weapons are rated for forces up to 3,000 newtons. Standard protocol assumes the wielder cannot exceed the structural limitations of their equipment. "Well," Blake muttered, standard protocol didn't account for Terran bone density and muscle fiber composition. This had been an ongoing problem since humans joined the Galactic Defense Initiative. Every piece of equipment designed for the average sentient being, which included 12 different species, proved inadequate for human physiology. What other species considered maximum exertion was barely a warm-up for most human recruits. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the expedition's xenobiologist, had tried to explain it to the Galactic Military Council months ago. Earth's higher gravity, combined with humanity's evolutionary history as persistence hunters and tool users, had produced beings with extraordinary physical capabilities by galactic standards. Humans could run for hours without stopping, had reaction times measured in milliseconds, and possessed a pain tolerance that bordered on the pathological. "Perhaps," suggested Cadet Zixnala, a graceful Etherian whose species communicated partially through bioluminescent patterns, "the humans should train separately." Blake shook his head. "Integration is the whole point of this program. We're supposed to learn to fight together." He turned to Thompson. "Show me what you were trying to demonstrate, but this time use something that can handle the stress." Thompson's eyes lit up. He walked to the maintenance area and returned with a mop, a simple, old-fashioned cleaning tool with a metal handle. "Sir, in confined spaces, humans historically used whatever was available. The key is understanding how to apply force efficiently." He gripped the mop handle with both hands, demonstrating proper spacing and grip. "The principle is simple leverage and fulcrum mechanics. You identify the weakest structural point and crack." The metal handle snapped cleanly in half. The training bay fell silent except for the ambient hum of life support systems. Thompson stood holding 2 pieces of what had been solid aluminum alloy, his face cycling through confusion and embarrassment. That wasn't supposed to happen, sir." Kethvar's mandibles clicked rapidly, the equivalent of nervous laughter. "Perhaps we need to requisition Drachmari-grade equipment for the human contingent." Blake rubbed his temples, feeling a headache building behind his eyes. The Galactic Military Council was going to love this incident report. First, humans had accidentally destroyed 3 training drones by moving too fast during targeting exercises. Then Private Johnson had torn the handles off a zero-G maneuvering simulator. Now they were breaking basic maintenance equipment. "All right, everyone," Blake announced to the assembled cadets. "New protocol. Humans demonstrate techniques verbally until we can source appropriate equipment. And Thompson. Yes, sir. Next time you want to show weapon improvisation, maybe start with something rated for industrial construction equipment. As the cadets dispersed, Blake made a mental note to request a meeting with the engineering corps. If humans were going to integrate successfully into galactic military operations, they were going to need gear built to withstand the terrifying efficiency of human physicality. The mop handle incident would become legendary among the crew, but it also marked the beginning of the Terran Protocol, military equipment designed not for average galactic citizens, but for the unervingly robust humans who had somehow convinced the universe they were ready to help keep the peace.